इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी, ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on this webinar called Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai is a webinar series presented by the management of Franchise India every day at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We then aim to introduce you to a new business opportunity. Over the last 27 years, Franchise India has helped thousands of investors selecting the right franchise business for them. In today's webinar, we will introduce an international diamond jewelry brand called Zen Diamond. Zen Diamond is an international diamond jewelry brand that started in 2000 in Istanbul, built on a family heritage of jewelry craftsmanship that goes back to 1890. Today, the brand has over 450 retail stores around the world and is quickly making its mark in India. Zen Diamond has already opened stores in Mumbai, Bangalore, and Chandigarh, supported by a strong online presence. With its next phase of rapid expansion, the brand is set to enter more cities across India with premium retail outlets. Zen Diamond is led globally by Mr. Emil Guzales, who has partnered with Mr. Neil Sonawala to grow the brand in the Indian market. Happy to see Mr. Neil Sonawala himself today with us to talk about the brand. But let me introduce you the overall panel that we have. We have Mr. Krishna Kaushik, who's the head of consulting, Francop. Mr. Neil Sonawala, India Partners and Diamond. Tanu is our strategy consultant. Mr. Ashish is the head of legal. Then we have Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, the managing director, Franchise India Group. Right. So before we talk more about the brand and the business opportunity, I would like to inform all the viewers that you also have opportunity to ask questions related to the brand and the business. My request is to please keep on posting your queries into the Q&A box to make this session more interactive. We will take all the questions once the presentation is over. But now, before we start talking about the brand, I request Sonia ma'am to take the lead. Let's set the perspective, and then we will move on to the presentation part.
Thank you so much, Bharat, and friends, a very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I'd like to welcome Mr. Neil Sonawala on this webinar. And friends, we have an opportunity of having him directly on this webinar. So thank you, Neil, for coming on the webinar. Friends, he's the promoter and the MD of the company. A little bit about him. He's somebody who comes with very strong industry background, family jewelry roots, corporate exposure, which also makes him a well-positioned entrepreneur to navigate both manufacturing and the retail dimension. And also, he is a very forward-looking entrepreneur who acknowledges the trends like inclination of Indian consumers and building a very premium brand experience for Indian consumers in the overall, I would say, Indian diamond retail industry. Little bit on the brand, and just to add, while we have launched many franchise models and many brands in the industry, I would say of all the models that we have launched, this comes as one of the most aggressive models that we have launched in this year. And the company Zen Diamond is a brand which is a global brand which comes with a legacy of 25 years and with roots in European design, and they've expanded internationally. The Indian business of Zen Diamond is positioned as design led, which is entire European designs, and but it is made in India diamond jewelry. And the proposition includes natural diamonds versus lab grown diamonds, which comes with a lifetime promise, exchange upgrade, which is given by the company, and a strong global brand with design credentials, which gives a big credibility in terms of premium diamond retail. And the Indian diamond consumption, I would say, is very large. It is growing, and there seems to be a space for premium brands which are appealing to the young cohort generation, especially the urban consumers. And Zen Diamonds is a brand which I would say is positioned today to elevate the entire experience, or I would say jewelry experience in India, tapping into the global design side of it, local manufacturing for an investor, or I would say a potential franchisee partner. The company has a very clear strategy which aligns with the global ambition with a very differentiated offering, both in terms of their product, which they're offering to the Indian consumer, but equally a very strong partnership proposal, which ensures a very scalable execution, across the country. They already have stores which are running across India, and all these stores are running on a company operated model. These are equity stores which are run and operated at some of the most premium locations across the country. So we'll talk about the business model, friends. We have both a franchisee-owned company-operated model, and we also have a franchisee-owned franchisee-operated model that we have to offer. But I'll not go too much in depth in terms of the model. We'll take you through a small presentation. We'll run you through the financial business model. I'll request all of you, if you have any questions, please feel free to write these questions in the Q&A box. We'll be happy to answer these for you. And now I'll request Mr. Sonwala, if you want to give a little introduction to start off with, and then we can take on through the presentation for our viewers.
Yes, thank you very much, Sonia. So, hi everyone. I would just like to say that Zen Diamond, as Sonia mentioned, largely she's mentioned most of the things, so very less for me to say. But largely, what I would like to say is that we're a global brand with 450 stores worldwide across 22 countries. In India now we have 5 stores, 2 in Mumbai, 2 in Bangalore, and 1 in Chandigarh. We would like to be in all the top locations of the country, including high street and the leading shopping malls. Our focus is everyday wear jewelry, evening wear jewelry, and gifting, which is a major category. We only deal in natural diamond jewelry in 18 karat, 14 karat gold. And we have many more things, but I don't want to say too much now. I leave it to the presentation so that you all can know more. Over to you, Sonia.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Neil. Bharat, if we can place the presentation on the screen, please.
Yeah, Tanu is going to do that. Meanwhile, we would also like to welcome Milind, right, who's the partner with Neil.
Hi, Milind. Very good afternoon to you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I'll be sharing the presentation in a while. And just to give you an overview of that, we'll be discussing in that about Zen again a bit, and then how the market is growing for this particular business and how Zen is addressing that in the most precise manner. Then we'll be discussing our franchise proposal and the locations that we have set for it. And post that, we'll be discussing our bit of our USPs as well as the profiling of the partners that we're looking for. Is my screen visible, everyone?
It's loading.
Yeah.
It is visible. If you could just make it to full screen.
I can try for that.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Yep. So as I mentioned, the agenda of today's call is going to be an introduction again to the Zen Diamonds, then assessing the Indian diamond jewelry market landscape, which is the prominent business place for Zen again. Then our franchise proposal, both FOCO and FOFO, and what we are giving it as an edge for the investors. I'm sorry. And then the rollout plan, which defines our precise locations that we are targeting. And then, yes, again, our USPs and the kind of partner profiles that we're looking for. Yeah. So to tell you about Zen again, it's a global brand with a European-centric design, and it's got its roots from Turkey. And it's been 1.5 years for Zen to be in India with stores in Mumbai, two in Bangalore, and one in Chandigarh. And we do plan a robust outreach pan-India, prominently in Tier 1 and metropolitan cities, posh locations, specifically targeting shopping malls because as per the standard of the Zen and the TG we have, those would be the most crowd pullers directly associated with the product line that we have. And yes, Emil is the chairman of the Zen Group, and Mr. Neil has partnered with him as the Indian business promoter. He's the MD for Zen Diamonds India. Yes, this is something very interesting because we have Jennifer Lopez as our brand ambassador. Again, a very iconic figure, and yes, associated with the Gen Z and the millennials. And for the credibility, no questions on this. Natural Diamond Council, that's what we have partnered with, right? And again, to give that collaboration a better edge, Purnia's pop-up stores is something we have collaborated upon, probably as a CIS, as a as a CIS model. So to give you an overview of the Indian diamond jewelry market, yes, it's growing. Yes, it's performing, outperforming actually the expectations. But the interesting part is that with a 9.2 CAGR of the Indian market, it's actually above the global average of a 5.8 CAGR from the time period of 25 to 2030. Now, the main drivers of this growth and for the Indian diamond jewelry market is the expanding middle class, which mainly consists of millennials with disposable income, because there has been an income growth overall in India. So yes, that means that people have deeper pockets to spend on luxury items, as well as to have a transformation from jewelry not just to be a traditional wear, but towards a everyday thing that they can have, right? Then the customer ethos, of course, the traditions, the festivals in India, they burgeon this industry and hence make it a more prosperous business throughout the year. Since then, Zen Diamond is having a strong omni-channel. We do cater to the audience, especially the millennials and the Gen Z, who are more digitally oriented. So having that edge of digital visibility serves Zen a different purpose of being visible and credible to the major segment that is expanding our target customer audience. Now, to have some shifts of the customers, yes, there is a huge shift of the customers towards organized branded retail, especially for jewelry, because there's a sense of credibility and reliability among the consumers. So yes, it's been growing from 31% to 38% over the 4 years, and is projected to cover almost 45% of the consumers by 2028. So yes, it is perfect for Zen to enter the diamond jewelry segment of India as a brand, because again, the unorganized sector, the local retailers are being overshadowed by the big players, and we still have a green field in the market for someone who's specialized and recognized in the diamond jewelry market. That's where Zen's gonna come. Now, for the overview of the franchise models, we are functioning upon FOCO and FOFO model. And I think I'll hand over it to Krishna for the same.
Yeah. So hi, We have 3 stores over here. Large store, medium stores, and small stores. We have taken the average of the large store as 1300 square feet, medium stores as 950 square feet, and small stores at 600 square feet. And we have the investment, which includes the inventory, which is 15 crores for the large store, 12 crore for the medium stores, and 8 crore for the small stores. Franchisee fees is 30 lakh for all the 3 stores. Payback period is 42 to 43 months for all the 3 stores, which includes the inventory. The revenue share that we will be offering to the franchisee will be 16%, and the agreement period will be 5 plus 5 years. Over here, we have to take note that the investment in capex will be done by Zen Diamonds, and the franchisee will only have to invest in inventory. So the figures that we have mentioned over here are mainly of inventory, and capex is already taken care of by the brand. Yeah, we can move ahead. Again, we have the FOFO proposal for the 3 brands. Here we do have the store setup cost, which is anywhere between 0.65 crores to 1.4 crores. The initial inventory cost is mentioned over here as 8 crore to 15 crores. The gross margin that we will be giving to the franchisee is 35% markdown, and the payback period for all the 3 stores is around 3.1 to 3.2 years. We can move ahead. So, okay, the rollout, Tanu, will you cover that?
Yeah, sure. So for the rollout, adhering Zen.
Tanu, you're on mute.
Yeah, so I was saying that adhering to Zen's brand positioning and the kind of persona that Zen carries, we have kept only the tier 1 cities in our phase, as well as parallelly expanding to tier 2 cities, but that's specifically for the FOFO model. And among the tier 1 cities, we have chosen the locations that will cater to Zen's image, that being the posh areas, posh markets, and specifically the shopping malls, which have a different persona of being of serving to a specific audience. We have in multiple locations. For example, in Delhi, we are having and targeting DLF Emporio, Select City Walk. In Mumbai, we already have a presence, but again, we do want to go to Phoenix Mall, Palladium Mall. Such locations we have in mind. And one thing I would like to mention is that in the FOCO model, the franchise owned company operated, it's something we have done that Zen has offered to do very that defies the very core of the FOCO model is, and that's in the favor of the investors, that the brand is going to take charge of the capex. So the investment is just going to be on the inventory, the market launch, and the franchise fee. Generally, it's not the case, but yes, Zen is being generous and in good faith with the investors. So yeah, that's the model that we have come up for the FOCO. And as I mentioned, for the FOFO, we have tier 2 cities. That includes Meerut, Jaipur, Udaipur as well, but Kochi, Ranchi, Indore, Bhopal. This is specifically for the FOFO model. But again, under this, we have to make sure that the location that the investor is proposing, it's as per again the Zen standard, and it does not hamper the brand reputation or the customer experience at all. For the operating terms, I think Krishna is going to take charge.
So the operating terms for FOCO and FOFO are that in FOCO, the franchisee will own the assets, and franchisee will invest in the assets, whereas the operations will be run by the company. So the franchisee will cover the property deposit, interior design, layout, branding, IT and POS, inventory, insurance, property repairs and maintenance, and the brand will be carrying the expenses like utilities expenses, manpower expenses, marketing expenses, rent expenses. So this is for the FOCO. In FOFO, again, it is franchisee owned, where the assets are invested in by the franchisee and owned by the franchisee. Operations are run by the franchisee. So all the operating expenses like rent, utility, consumables, manpower, marketing, etc., will be handled by the franchisee. The central marketing and stock correction will be done by the brand. And if there are any in-store events and exhibitions, then this can be shared 50-50 between the brand and the franchisee. The lock-in period is 5 years, and 6 months is the notice period.
Again, it's very broadly stating the Zen's USP. Yes, it's a global brand with a legacy of over 3 generations. We do have a worldwide presence, so that ensures that yes, the kind of customers we have, they might have a global interaction, and yes, it's going to be a standard service throughout the globe. Again, the designs, yes, the designs that we have are very specifically arranged, keeping the millennials and the Gen Z in mind, which are very lightweight and modern designs, because yes, that's what they cater to. And it's being the designs are being placed for a lightweight everyday wear jewelry, because yes, the generation millennial and Gen Z, again, they don't have a preference for the gold jewelry in everyday wear. They have a very elite and a minimalistic preference that diamonds give. So yes, the designs, again, they are our USP. And the customer service, I think Neil would be the best one to tell you about the customer service, and it's a lot detailed one. So yes, Neil, can you please elaborate on this?
Sure. So just, first of all, I would, like to say that the designs are very elegant, very lightweight. The designs are all conceptualized largely in Europe. And the design blueprints are created in Europe. There's a heavy investment that the brand does on that to get the right elevation, the right modulation, and, the design flow. Then it is made in India. So we are making sure that the quality is very high, there's high finishing, which will stand apart, compared to the competitors. So that is largely on the design front. In terms of the in-store experience, the minute you enter a Zen Diamond store, first of all, a Zen Diamond store is always in a marquee location, in a top high street area or a top shopping mall, which is well performing. So we are very choosy about that. We want to make sure that we hit the right audience and get the right traffic in store. Um, Followed by the experience in store, right from the fragrance in the store, which is standard across the globe, to the way the jewelry is displayed. Then has a large facade display in most of the stores, depending on the location. But for now, even in India, we have large facade displays. So a lot of the jewelry collection is displayed right at the store front. And on that, seeing that, customers are really feeling wow, and they are able to see so many different collections with such nice designs, which are very new in India, which are very fresh in India, I would say. And then we get them into the store, and the staff is very well trained, very high quality of staff, who are very well paid. So they're able to engage with the customer. Also, one thing I would like to mention is that the conversation in store is not about the labor charges, or it's not about the price or something. It is about the design. The staff is able, the team is, is able to connect very well with the customer, and that is really making a very big difference, because when we connect with the customer, it is beyond price, it is beyond trust, beyond creativity. That connection is there. They resonate very well with the brand, and they want to be connected to the brand. And this all is followed by great packaging. Same packaging for a product which is 20,000 or a product which is 5 lakhs. There is no differentiation, because the customer is key for us. And also, it is backed by great schemes where we are giving, something to the customer when they go back, either a gold coin or some good discount. But largely right now we have an offer where on every 60,000, they're getting 1 gram of pure gold, which is 999. What is happening with that is, rather, is that when they come back to us with those gold coins, they have gold now. When they come back to us to kind of redeem it, we're giving them a bonus in gold, which doesn't kind of go with any other scheme, which means then we don't offer discount. But that way, the customers are coming back. So brand loyalty is growing in a very big way. The trust is built. And also, needless to say that all the jewelry is hallmarked by the Bureau of Indian Standards. It is certified. We issue a Zen assurance card, which gives the exact material breakup, how much gold, how much diamond, weight, and all of that, and then great CRM and great follow-ups with customers. So the engagement journey with the customer is very high level, yet the jewelry is very affordable. So that is really the magic that Zen is playing.
And Neil, can you please tell them about that diamond that touches the skin that is again under one of your
Also,
schemes?
yes, thanks.
Because I think that was one of the most exciting things that I've come across.
Correct. So, in any jewelry that we wear, the diamond always shows up, but there's nothing that is touching the skin. So, as a Zen offering, every single diamond jewelry piece, be it a earring, be it a ring, be it a bracelet, or a neck piece, it has one hidden diamond like, for example, in a ring, it's on the shank of the ring. And that is something which touches the skin, and that passes positive energy. So that is something that is a brand offering. We give it as a compliment from our side. And also, with every single purchase, we are giving the customer a Zen Diamond gift. And that gift is the same that we sell in store. For example, we have accessories beyond, so we are beyond jewelry. We have accessories. We have Zen branded perfumes, which is sold worldwide. 4 fragrances for men, 4 for women. We have pens, we have ties, and we have many more things. Watches. So, as an offering to our customer, we give them one gift with every purchase, depending on the value what they have purchased. So, for example, if a customer has purchased something within 2 lakhs, we are giving them a pen for free. And this is not told to them till the last moment, and it is kind of packed. And when they open it, they see that, oh wow, I've got something much more than what was committed to me. So that is really making a huge impact, and also it's resulting into brand loyalty. Thank you, Tan.
Yep. So, guys, yeah, that's all from our end, and I think we are ready to welcome the questions that you might have.
Thanks, Tanu. So, friends, I'll quickly summarize the business model. And I see some questions which have already started to come in. We'll take these questions, but we'll not go very, very deep in the financials. Anyone who's keen to explore and understand these financials, I request to reach out to us directly. We'll be happy to set up a meeting, understand your profile, and take the entire business model through a one-to-one meeting or a session. So just quickly summarizing the entire opportunity and the brand. So some of the differentiators which I see, this is a brand which has a big aspiration, pricing sensitivity, design-led, as Neil talked about. And Zen is bringing, rather, I would say they aim to bring in global design sensibility, which is where they're leveraging their international presence across 20 plus countries. And they're targeting premium, but yet I would say affordable luxury, which is very, very big aspiration in India for the diamond consumers. And it is designed for affordable luxury. Jewelry pieces are also crafted for the consumer, which is an aspiration seeking premium quality without ultra premium pricing. So if you see the pricing, this is extremely aggressive. I've seen the products myself, and I can bet if you have not seen better products in these price points with any other jewelry brand in India. Second, there's a big focus on transparent pricing. They emphasize transparency in pricing. This is a MRP-based pricing model, certifications including the IGI. And they currently have successful operations across, I would say, different markets across the globe, which also is a very big testimony to their product acceptance in diverse markets. And design engineering excellence of pieces, which is focused and built on comfort, durability, wearability, and it is not just aesthetics alone, while that's a very big focus, but entire from durability to wearability is where the entire engineering on their product has been done. And the exceptional value proposition is manufacturing in India, but globally designed, which means the brand offers internationally graded jewelry at a Indian pricing. Now, with respect to the model, I would say this is a very unique franchise offering that we have for the Indian market, and not just in jewelry, I would say, but at Franchise India, we have worked with every single company in India, from startups to large corporates, who are offering different, I would say, propositions for franchise partnerships across different industries. But the model which is created by Zen Diamonds is very, very unique and very, very aggressive. Now, let me explain that to you. Now, the model is designed to fully de-risk the investors who are partners, franchise partners, unlike traditional jewelry retail models or FOCO models that you find across different businesses in the country. Now, let us understand what it takes for a franchisee to own a brand. Now, typically, your investment goes for a franchisee in capex, deposit, franchise fees, and the inventory. So, these are, I would say, largely four areas under which any franchise model and a brand would need a franchise partner to make the investment. And the second is your operating expenses, which is your ongoing monthly expenses, which is your rent, your salary. Now, what is the differentiation which Zen is bringing in is first and foremost the larger quantum of funding. And this is a funding which I don't know any brand in India is currently doing, which is a capex, because capex is your investment in store interiors, fixtures, fit outs, display units, branding, design, setup. And that's a heavy investment which goes into jewelry stores, which comparatively is much higher than any other retail or F&B brand that you see. And this is also a depreciating investment because it depreciates over a period of time. So the entire investment on the capex in a franchise and company operated model is all funded directly by the brand. So it's a big investment. Second is a property deposit. And because we're looking at premium locations like malls or high streets, largely I would say malls, the deposit typically any successful mall, leading malls in India take almost about 6 months of deposit, which is I would say a cash which sits with the developer, the mall for the entire period of your investment in the brand, which can be, say, for example, 9 years, and that money is blocked. So the company is not expecting or asking their franchise partner to make that deposit for the property. The entire investment in the deposit of the property, which can be, I would say, anything depending on the size, format, and the location that we choose, anything from say 35 odd lakhs to 50 odd lakhs is the average deposit today malls take as a inventory deposit, as a property deposit. This is also being funded by the company. And then there are two other components, which is the inventory, I would say larger component, and a small component of franchise fees, so which is taken by the company. So the entire inventory is in the books of the franchise partner. Now, because the inventory is in the books of the partner, the insurance is also on the partner's book. So there is no risk, I would say, on the entire investment because two large components, which is a deposit, which is mostly a security given to the malls, so which does not get any interest, is funded by the company. Capex, which is depreciating investment, is also being invested by the company. The inventory, which is the entire inventory, depending on the format, from 8 crores to 15 crores of inventory, would sit in the books of the investor, which also gives him a big assurance of that asset sitting in his books, is something which the franchise partner brings in. All the operating expenses from rent, salary, and other miscellaneous expenses are all taken care by the company. Now, when you look at a business model of a jewelry brand, or I would say diamond brand like this, typically a stock turn in a business when it comes to a mature level is almost about 1.5 to 1.6 stock turns. So which means if I have an inventory of say 15 crores at the MRP level, typically my stock turn would be almost about 22 to 24 odd crores annually. But we've also taken very aggressive, and I would say on the other side, we have not taken a very bullish stock turn in the first 2 years. Rather, we have taken very low stock turn in year one and year two, which is less than one in year one, almost one in year two. And the current operators, I would say, in the industry are doing higher than this stock turn. But if I take an average of say 1.2 stock turns or even a stock turn of one with an MRP of MRP of 15 crores and an average of 1.25 stock turns, typically investor will get a 16% return on the sales. So which means if I'm doing a sale of 15, just assuming I have a 15 crore inventory of MRP and I just do one stock turn in a year, 16% would translate to almost about 2.4 crores. And this obviously increases when the business matures. Your inventory starts sweating in year two, year three, year four, and this is a long-term agreement. The investor typically recovers his entire investment in about 3 years' time. Right? So this is the model that we are looking for franchisee-owned company operations. And the second is company franchise would own and operate the business by themselves. And that I would say is a second phase because the locations we are looking is tier two locations. But all the tier one locations, we are focusing largely on a franchisee owned, but entire operations led by the company. So friends, if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer that for you. Maybe Bharat, if you want to take up questions and we can answer these questions. questions. I see some questions which are there in the Q&A box.
Yeah, before that, Sonia, I would like to add that in our FOCO model, we also have a very interesting prospect for the investors that defying the standard practice of the industry of around being 12% on the revenue share, we are offering a generous 16%.
Correct. And that's very high, friends, because this is 16%. And when companies, I saw somebody asking what minimum guarantee, companies even giving minimum guarantee or a higher share or a lesser share. 16% is unheard of the share in terms of the overall share with the investor. And even some companies who offer that largely is between 10 to 15, or I would say 12%, where the company also expects their franchise partner to make the entire investment in the capex deposit. In this case, these two very big heads are taken off and taken care and funded by the company. And in fact, a larger share of the returns which the business would generate and sweat over a period of time, the maximum returns are given to a franchise partner. Great. So, Bharat, we can take up some questions, and friends will also leave our number on the chat box. You can reach out to us. We'll be happy to set up one-to-one meetings with anyone who's keen to explore and go deeper to understand the business model. Yes, Bharat.
I really have lots of questions.
We'll
Okay,
take some. I think some we've
we'll
already,
take
and
some.
maybe we can club some questions when we see similarity in questions being asked.
Okay, so we'll take a few, starting with like, is there any minimum guarantee for
There's no
FOCO
requirement for
outlets?
minimum guarantee. I think companies already de-risked. So then there's no minimum guarantee, and the minimum guarantee is where the investor has a risk, right? In this case, typically minimum guarantees for businesses cover your rental or operating expenses. In this case, the company is taking care of all expenses, right? Even the initial investment part of that is done by the company. So it is foolish to even ask if there's a minimum guarantee in the model. So there's no minimum guarantee, and it is not even required.
Right, in FOCO model, would the inventory be billed and insured in the name of investor, or would it be deposit or inventory? This is a question from Akash Srivastava.
So if I may answer this question, it will be a deposit.
Right. We'll take another question. What is the biggest competitive threat in the marketplace right now, and how has the franchisor strategically addressed this in the last 3 years?
Should I answer?
Anyone?
Sure, Neil.
Yeah, please.
Please take.
Okay, if you could just repeat the question. Sorry.
Okay, the question is, what is the biggest competitive threat in the marketplace right now, and how has the franchisor, I mean, you strategically addressed this in the last 3 years?
So honestly, we don't see a threat because we are in the affordable luxury space, as I've mentioned earlier. Sonia has mentioned. So we are in a category which is affordable to a large part of the Indian population. There is a huge aspiration for people to buy better quality product, yet with the price. Sorry. So it's basically buying better quality product with the price sensitivities in place. So we've taken care of both of this. Also, we are very relevant to today's population, to today's the aspirational buyers in terms of design and experience. So I don't really see a threat because eventually it is jewelry, it holds value. It has gold, it has diamond. We have exchange policies, we have buyback policies. Customer is very, very secured. So I don't see any threat, and the Indian economy is growing. We're at 4 trillion. We all know the economy is going upwards. It'll be 10 trillion very soon. So I don't think, in fact, I feel that the distribution and the expansion plan will have to be very aggressive to cater to this demand.
Would you also talk about the existing stores? Like we have 450 stores, like out of them, what is the global spread? And
So sure. So 450 stores that we have, starting from America up to the UAE. So we cover that entire geography. To give you an example, in America, in the US, largely we have close to 3 stores. UK, we have 1 store. Germany, we have 10 stores. East Europe, we are present in each and every country. We are also in Hungary, Budapest. We are very strong in Turkey with over, I would say, 150 to 180 stores. We are very strong also in the Middle East. So, for example, in the Middle East, we are in Qatar, we are in Kuwait, Iraq. Iraq, we have 13 stores. UAE, all put together, Abu Dhabi, Al Ain, Ras Al Khaimah, and Dubai. We are at 5 stores. We're coming up with 2 more stores in Dubai, both in marquee locations, one in Dubai Mall and the other one in Dubai Hills Mall. So, that is the positioning. And now in India also, as I mentioned, we have 5 stores in all the top locations. So the brand profile is so strong today, and the segment that the brand operates in is also so relevant, and it is kind of for everyone. We are like, for example, like the Zara of the jewelry industry, like a Zara Plus of the jewelry industry. So it's kind of relevant to everyone. And the brand today is able to secure these very high-end locations, and people, basically mall operators and all, want us to kind of be there. So that also speaks about the brand profile, the brand image, and the category that we are focusing on.
Right. That is a long question. However, in short, I can ask you like, uh, how does Zen Diamond plans to balance the local sensitivity, right, when it comes to the southern part of India business?
When it comes to the southern part,
right? So, I mean, if I can read here.
Okay.
So let me answer that, and maybe Neil, you
Sure.
can add on to that. Friends,
Right.
this is not a local or a regional brand. So this is a
Right.
global design aesthetic versus the regional traditional styles that you see, which is done by some national brands and some regional brands. Traditional brands typically, their bigger focus is, I would say, ornate jewelry, heavy jewelry, region-specific designs like a Rajasthani, Gujarati, South Indian, Bengali styles, which they do. But Zen Diamond offers European-inspired jewelry, which is modern minimalistic design, very clean, contemporary, wearable, everyday, product. And it appeals to the new age Indian who wants international styling and not just cultural jewelry. So it is not a cultural jewelry, right? So we're not catering to a consumer like that. And the designs are very inclusive, which means I don't have to change my design if I go to Bangalore, if I go to Delhi, if I go to Chandigarh. My designs all across are universal and they remain same. So this is a different audience we're catering to. I'm not a traditional jewelry brand which is going to do temple design and other stuff. Maybe Neil, you can add on to that. I see a big.
Yeah, sure. So what I would like to say is that we have 2 stores in Bangalore, and the designs are more than welcome. What people, see, the world is truly globalized. India is moving very fast. Somewhere we are all, looking at India in the old way. It's going to grow extremely fast. And what we are seeing today is that it's largely a globalized world. So what people wear in Dubai or wear in Singapore is what now people are also wearing in India. You see that resonating also with brands like Zara, Massimo Dutti, so many brands. They all have come from the West. Zara is a Spanish brand. They've come to India doing extremely well. The Uniqlo being a Japanese brand is in India. So how is it that the Indians are now coming out of the traditional Indian brands like Color Plus or like whatever else it may be, and moving towards this? So similarly, that's also happening in jewelry. We have 2 stores in Bangalore. It is, people have loved the designs. It's very, very fresh. And as Sonia mentioned, it is beyond a culture. Now the world is one world. The world is one world. It's globalized. So what you wear in London, what you wear in Singapore is also worn in Andhra Pradesh and Delhi and Gurgaon and Mumbai. So it's really that, and these designs are very contemporary. It will be liked by everybody. So yes.
Right. There is just, I'll take a couple of questions more. Is like, are you open for tier 2 cities like Kolhapur in Maharashtra? What is your preference in terms of selecting the tier 2 cities?
See, definitely, we are open to any area where there is consumption, but there's always a way to kind of get there. For example, if we are already in Mumbai, we may be looking at Pune very quickly. And at some point, we'll be looking at Shirdi, Kolhapur, Aurangabad, and all these places. Maybe there, the shopping malls, as I'm saying always, that India is growing very quickly. New assets, new retail assets are going to come up. So from a FOCO perspective, it will make sense to kind of be in like top retail assets as and when they come up, and the ones which are there right now that are being restructured. They are going through, some changes, some cosmetic changes, and kind of rebranding. But from a FOFO perspective, if the person in that area is very, very strong and is, relating to the brand and is open to this concept, we are open to that also.
All right, we'll take now the last question. For the consumer billing, the bill will be through the client GST or brand GST billing. What kind of mechanism will be provided for understanding actual sales on day-to-day basis?
So the franchisee, so in a FOCO model, that's what we're largely discussing right now. In a FOCO model, the investor will be paying a deposit, and the company is putting in the money on capex, as Sonia has mentioned, and on the deposit with the mall or the landlord. So it's a deposit that the investor is giving to the brand, and the brand will be billing to the consumers on its own books with its own software and everything from their side.
Perfect. All right. I think we probably have tried to give almost all the answers. However, my request is to please get in touch on our call or on our hotline number, which is 9717683838, or you can also write to us at feedback@franchiseindia.in. I mean, I understand that. 45 odd minutes is not good enough to understand or go deep dive into the business. Obviously, we will require to have a separate discussion. So my request is to please get in touch on this number so that we can have a detailed deep dive, discussion about the opportunity. Yeah, I think that's it, ma'am. Anything that you would like to add?
I'll just say, friends, thank you for coming on this webinar. I've also shared the website of the company for somebody who wants to check the designs, the categories, the SKUs that we do. You can all refer to this. Anyone who's keen to explore further, we are happy to come on one-to-one discussion with all of you. But as we close, I'll say one thing. We work with, like I said, in the last 28 years, we worked with so many brands, so many models. We worked with international brands coming to Indian market. But this is one of the most aggressive models that I've seen. And we are looking forward to not just investors, but like-minded people who believe in the same vision, as we do, from the brand point of view. So we'll welcome like-minded entrepreneurs to come and get in touch with us. And before I close, Neil, I'll also request you, Milind, I'll request you maybe for your last message and words to our viewers.
So first of all, thank you to everyone for being, part of this call. I would just like to tell you that, for us, the most important thing is consumer confidence, and we will do everything that it takes to build that. And the new India is beyond trust. Now it is about confidence. Trust is established with all the policies that the government of India has put in place, including hallmarking, certification, rules, laws, everything. It is beyond that. Let's move forward. Let's look at a new India where the consumer is young and aspiring and they want better products. They have the spending power, high disposable income. So, we have a huge future, a very big future to cater to their aspirations. And having presence across the world, we are tapping our resources, leveraging our resources in terms of design, in terms of cost efficiencies, in terms of logistics all around the world, and making sure that all that is ultimately passed on to the consumer. So that's all. And thank you very much for being a part of this call. Thank you.
Fantastic. Milind, you would also like to add something?
Actually, Neil has added everything. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and looking forward. Yeah.
Great. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining. Especially all the viewers who, asked your questions, right? I really appreciate that. But to connect us offline, I already have shared the number. You can get in touch with us on that numbers. So that's it for the day, everyone. Thank you, Neil and Milind, for coming here. And thank you, everyone, for joining
Thank
this.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.